the summer of 2021, America was restless. COVID restrictions had begun to lift, the roads were open, and for Gabby Petito, the open highway whispered promises of freedom, love, and adventure. She was 22, vibrant, blonde, wide-eyed, and forever smiling behind a camera lens. Her dream: to turn the world into a backdrop and her life into a van life documentary alongside her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. It was supposed to be a love story on wheels. But what unraveled was something darker, something colder, a road trip that would capture the world's attention and end in horror. Gabby had always been a dreamer. Born in Blue Point, Long Island, she was artistic, intuitive, soft-spoken. She loved to draw. She journaled constantly. She posted vlogs filled with sunny montages of desserts and waterfalls and slow-motion laughs under open skies. But in the footage, if you looked closely, there was tension just beneath the skin, a nervous smile here, a flicker of doubt in her eyes there. It would all seem so obvious. Later, she met Brian in high school. He was quiet, outdoorsy, obsessed with nature and isolation. They reconnected a few years later and quickly became inseparable. To the outside world, it looked like the perfect fit. They moved to Florida together. They shared a home with his parents. And when the world shut down in 2020, their plan was born. Ditch the conventional, buy a white Ford Transit van, and document a cross-country trip on social media. The American dream, repackaged for YouTube. They set off in early July 2021, driving through Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. The footage was curated to perfection: smiling selfies, sunsets, camping, hiking. But in between the posts, something insidious brewed. Friends noticed Gabby was becoming harder to reach. Calls were missed. Texts went unanswered. One friend would later tell reporters that Gabby sounded increasingly anxious, describing episodes where Brian's temper would ignite like dry brush under a match. The first public crack in the fairy tale came on August 12, 2021, in Moab, Utah. A passerby called 911. "We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl," the caller said. "Then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her." Police body cam footage was later released, and it was chilling. Gabby, crying, frantic, tried to take the blame for everything. She said she had OCD, that she'd hit Brian first, that she was just stressed. Brian, calm, collected, smirked through most of the exchange. The cops separated them for the night. No arrests were made, no charges filed. Gabby slept in the van. Brian was put up in a hotel. The body cam footage went viral, with split opinions. But hindsight would cast it in damning clarity. Gabby was terrified, and the system had failed to see it. Days later, Gabby called her mom. It would be one of the last calls. She told her everything was okay, but something was off in her voice. Her mother, Nicole Schmidt, later said she felt it in her bones, like a storm was coming and she couldn't stop it. By late August, Gabby's digital footprint vanished. Her last Instagram post was on August 25th, a photo in front of a mural in Ogden, Utah. Smiling, but robotic, her location tag stopped. Her stories went silent, and then a strange text, sent to her mother's phone on August 27th. "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Her mom knew something was wrong immediately. Gabby never called her grandfather Stan. On August 29th, a couple named Miranda and Kyle Bethune were driving their own van through Wyoming when they spotted a familiar vehicle at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area, a white Ford Transit van, parked awkwardly, abandoned. The video they later uploaded to YouTube would prove to be critical. It showed the exact location where Gabby would be found. Brian returned home to Florida alone on September 1st, driving Gabby's van. No public explanation, no statement. No Gabby. Her family, desperate, filed a missing person report on September 11th. That same day, police showed up at the Laundrie family home. Brian refused to speak. His parents gave investigators the name of their lawyer. America exploded with speculation. Gabby's face was everywhere. On TikTok, on billboards, on nightly news broadcasts, influencers dissected her last photos. Former detectives hosted live streams. A full-blown digital manhunt erupted. Everyone was searching. Everyone was watching. But Brian was silent. Then he vanished. On September 17th, his parents claimed he'd gone for a hike in the Carlton Reserve days earlier and hadn't returned. The timing was uncanny. The story suspicious. But the search pivoted. Authorities flooded the swamp. Drones, dogs, ATVs, no sign. On September 19th, in the sweeping shadows of the Tetons, FBI agents made a discovery. A body. It was partially buried, decomposing, found near where the Bethunes had spotted the van. The area had been cordoned off, plastic tarps, yellow tape, men in tactical gear combing through soil and branches. The press waited. Drones hovered. The internet held its breath. The next day, the FBI confirmed it. The remains were Gabby's. Cause of death, homicide. Later, the autopsy would reveal she had been strangled. A manual throttling. The coroner said. The pressure of someone's bare hands around her neck. No time of death could be precisely determined, but it was estimated to be 3 to 4 weeks before discovery. Her body had been left in the wilderness, alone, for nearly a month. She died scared. She died far from home. She died at the hands of someone she trusted. The country grieved. Celebrities posted tributes. Candlelight vigils lit up parks across states. But the question remained, where was Brian Laundrie? The manhunt grew frantic. Theories flew. Some said he fled to Mexico. Others were convinced his parents were helping him hide. Internet sleuths tracked grocery purchases, drone footage, even hair found in abandoned campsites. Every whisper became fuel for the frenzy. On October 20th, 2021, skeletal remains were discovered in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, an area previously submerged due to flooding. Nearby, a dry bag and notebook. Dental records confirmed it. Brian Laundrie was dead. A self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. The notebook found with his remains contained a written confession. I ended her life, it read, in smeared ink and rain-stained pages. I thought it was merciful that it is what she wanted. Gabby's family called it a coward's confession. Her father said what many were thinking. He didn't die from a gunshot. He died of guilt. The story should have ended there, but the fallout was just beginning. Public outrage swelled. Why had law enforcement let Brian vanish? Why hadn't the Utah police intervened more forcefully during the Moab incident? Why had Gabby, so clearly distressed, been treated like the aggressor while her abuser walked away with a knowing smile? Lawsuits were filed, investigations launched. Gabby's family established the Gabby Petito Foundation, aimed at helping missing persons and victims of domestic violence. Her parents became advocates, fierce, grieving warriors, demanding systemic change in how the justice system handles intimate partner violence. The Gabby Petito case became a cultural lightning rod, not only because of the tragedy, but because of what it exposed. The rot beneath the filter-perfect images. The performative nature of social media, the illusion of control, the failure of institutions, and the chilling, silent reality that behind many smiles, someone is quietly suffering. Gabby was not the first. She won't be the last. But her story, carved into the consciousness of a nation, refuses to fade. In her final videos, Gabby's voice is soft, almost a whisper. I'm really excited for this trip, she says, brushing a strand of hair from her eyes. I think this is going to be something really special. And it was. Just not the way she ever imagined. The open road had promised freedom, but it delivered a nightmare we were all too late to wake her from.